Hi everyone, I'm Molly and this is Goodie Gumdrops. Today I'm going to make a special Father's Day goodie. So Father's Day is this Sunday, and if your father is like my father, then he will love this goodie because I'm going to make some homemade black licorice. So this recipe has a lot of ingredients. I have over here molasses, dark corn syrup, sweetened condensed milk, butter, sugar, and flour. And also anise extract, which is the actual flavor of the black licorice. Okay, so to get this started, you are going to need your candy thermometer and saucepan, and I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk, 1/4 cup of dark corn syrup, a half of a cup of regular granulated sugar, and molasses. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of molasses. It doesn't matter if it's blackstrap molasses or just regular molasses, any kind will do. This is going to take a little bit because molasses pours so slowly. Look at that. Smells delicious. I love molasses. Okay, now what you're going to do is turn the heat on your stove to medium and bring this up to a boil. And you're going to want to stir everything together. Okay, so once this comes up to a boil, add your candy thermometer, reduce the heat to medium-low, and stir frequently to prevent it from burning. And you want to cook this until it gets up to the soft ball stage at 240 degrees. So when this gets up there, I will be back to show you how to finish this off. So as this comes up to the softball stage of 240 degrees, you can see that the texture of this is going to start to change. It's starting to get a lot thicker and gooier. And you want to make sure that you boil it gently and stir it frequently so it does not burn. I know typically when I've been making candies, I've been saying don't stir, but this specific kind of candy, you need to keep stirring. Okay, the candy has come up to 240 degrees, and I'm not sure because this looks like just caramel. I was going to show you a little drop test, but I think you might just have to look for it to look like caramel because I'm not exactly sure what. Yeah, you can see that's what it should look like when you drop it into the water. So now that it's off the heat, I'm going to immediately stir in 6 tablespoons of flour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this also the time where you would add black food coloring if you have some. And because of the time of year, it's very difficult to find black food coloring, and I had none left over from Halloween, which is pretty much the only time of the year you can find it in the regular store. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's going to look like brown licorice because I don't have it, so it's still going to taste like black licorice. So this is what it's going to look like. It looks like very thick caramel. So now I'm going to add the flavoring, the NS extract, and you can use up to a tablespoon, and because my father loves black licorice, I'm going to add a full tablespoon. If not, you could add 3/4 of a tablespoon, maybe even a half of a tablespoon. Okay, so as you can see, that steamed up a little bit, which is fine, and I got a second spoon to help me stir because this is so thick. Okay, the final thing to do is to have a bread loaf pan that I have lined with parchment paper and put warm butter on. I buttered it, and now I'm going to spread this into the lined baking dish and refrigerate it for 30 minutes. So just glob it in there and then try to smooth it out. And then after the 30 minutes, I will be back to see how it all came out. Okay, so when I was trying to spread it out, I was having a difficult time. So I had the idea to just take the sides of the parchment paper, fold it over, and press the licorice down so you get a more uniform bar. And it is hot, but it's not so hot that it could burn your hand. So now there is a nice looking rectangle. And I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Okay, now that the licorice has cooled, I'm going to take it out of the pan, which is why you want to put the parchment paper in there, and I'm going to cut it. So you can cut this into strips and twist it, or you can just cut it into little pieces, whatever you would prefer. And if you find that your licorice is too hard, you can put it in the microwave for 30 seconds to get it soft again, which is what I ended up just doing because when it came out of the refrigerator, it was as hard as a rock. So you want to make sure you keep an eye on it in there so you don't let it chill for too long. So I think what I'm going to do is turn this into both kinds. I'm going to make like a rope with this part, and then a couple of little pieces with the rest of it. This is not very easy to cut. Shouldn't be cutting that way. Don't want to accidentally cut myself. So be careful with this, and make sure you have a very sharp knife. So if you want to make it into twists, just take it and twist it like this. And I will be back after I cut this all up for the taste test. Here are the finished licorice pieces. So I found this recipe, excuse me, I found this recipe extremely easy to make. It did not take very long for everything to come up to a boil and get to the right heat. I did find it very difficult to cut though, but I think that if your dad likes black licorice, he will love this NS licorice candy for Father's Day. So now I'm going to try a little taste of it. Find a smaller piece because I want to save most of it for my dad. It tastes very good, but not very strong. So I definitely recommend adding maybe 2 tablespoons of NS into it if your dad likes the really strong black licorice. Okay, so there's just one more thing I wanted to add. If you find that your pot is just covered in the caramel or the licorice mix, what you can do is soak it in hot water or even put water in it and cook it on the stove. And you might think, well, that's just going to burn it more, but no, because it's a sugar mixture, it will go into the water and that will clean it out. So I hope that your father loves these NS licorices, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and come back for more goodies. I will see you next time. Bye!